This is the Reds POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, well, I'm just off to just go to the start as the Reds are tonight. And hello, everyone, and welcome to the Locked On Reds postcast brought to you by the Locked On Podcast Network. My name is Tim Daniel. I've been covering the Cincinnati Reds in podcast form for 5 years on publications such as the Riverfront and Late Night Reds. You can check me out after every single Reds game here for free on YouTube or your podcast app of choice. And Monday through Friday, get my good friends Jeff Carr and Stephen Offenbaker over on the Locked On Reds show, where they kind of do a deep dive in the big picture for this season. So tonight, we're unfortunately talking about an 11-6 loss by the Cincinnati Reds against the Washington Nationals, where had some life, just didn't go their way. It was just a bad day, but we're going to dive into it. Just kind of talk about it. Today's episode is brought to you by the folks at Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K. Turn any TV into your Xbox. No console required. Head to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to learn more. On today's show, we're going to talk about Nick Lodolo struggling today a little bit. Wasn't his day. We're going to talk about how the Reds found some ways to kind of beat themselves tonight. Errors, a little bit of caught stealings, that couple things here and there that kind of that didn't go their way. And we're going to talk about Santiago Espinal, who continues to hit and was really good again today, even with that last strikeout at the end of the game. All that, a whole lot more. I will take your comments throughout the chat as well. But first, let's go ahead and let's get started.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Oh, it just wasn't Nick Lodolo's day. And it was difficult. But part of me wonders obviously it didn't work that way for Hunter Green yesterday. But did the rain delay maybe play a part in him not being fully ready? I don't know. I'm not there. But did Terry Francona leave him in a little too long tonight? Yeah, probably. I'm not saying this to say anything bad about Nick Lodolo. I think he's had a really good year. I really like him. I know he's had, I do think he does have a tendency at times to make things a little bit more difficult on himself. And tonight, he was kind of making things a little difficult on himself. Seemed to really struggle finding his command of his pitches. Out the jump, gives up 2 runs in the first. And then kind of feels like he kind of gets going, but that only has one clean inning through the game, 1 or 2. And then that was but I don't think his defense really helped him out very much tonight. I think so. There was that, but 5 1/3 innings pitched, 6 earned runs, 2 hit batters, 2 walks, did have a couple strikeouts. So that part was nice. But for Nick Lodolo, you're kind of expecting, after Hunter Green was so dominant yesterday, you see he's going against Trevor Williams. You feel really good about the Reds' chances to win this game. And they do take the lead at one point. They're up 3-2. And think, okay, cool. Yeah, this is going pretty well. And then, of course, that's when things go off the rails. And part of that was not just Lodolo, so I don't want to fully blame him by any means. But especially coming after the Rocky start, I thought that this was going to be a really good game for him as well. And it just wasn't. Left some pitches out in the open. The Rosario home run just kind of felt like he was asking him to hit that one, where he threw that ball. And it stinks, but it happens. Hey, big picture, they're 7 of the last 10. And I think, they've had worse days that they've lost. I do think they beat themselves tonight. But for him, I don't know. I mean, he said a couple of these Jekyll and Hyde moments this year. That last game, he was awesome. Against the Marlins, he wasn't very good. He was kind of getting lucky a lot early in the year where he's coming a fastball changeup guy. Seda kind of talked about it a little bit in the broadcast tonight. But now he's kind of finding his pitches again, and then today just didn't have it. And since it was Star Wars Day, and Jeff is not on the air tonight, and I will go ahead and say there was a disturbance in the force. So just wasn't Lodolo's night. It's a bummer. I can't fully expect when he gets back to the hill, which is going to be in that Astros series that actually, I think he's going to be in the Braves series. No. It'll be the first game of the Astros series. If I have my math correctly, that he'll be back to Nick Lodolo and we'll be fine there. Other pitchers tonight, bullpen had their first bad game in a while as well. What can you do? Brent Suter, an inning and a third, 2 earned runs. Luis May, I don't really fault him for giving up the runs. Giving up the run he did. Had 3 strikeouts. Luis May's got a big future. And that's a guy I'm really excited to see more of for this team. And then, what the heck's his name? Forgive me. Yasir Zulueta, who I thought pitched well. I thought he pitched fine, but really made a really dumb decision when he fielded that bunt. Could he easily flip that to Stevenson? They got the tag on the runner at third. Throws it the first, runner scores, makes it 8-4. And that was a bummer. But he's a guy who hasn't pitched a whole lot in the majors, so he's learning. I know he's been a part of he's got, 13 career major league games, and you can kind of see why he has 13 career major league games, but you also give him the benefit of only having that many games, but wasn't his day. And then Brent Suter, I think, has been all right this year. Wasn't very good today. Give the Nationals credit. They took full advantage and they made things happen. So we just kind of go through that as well. Let's see the chats here. Do you see a difference between Tito and Bell? 100%. I think the team is much more disciplined at the plate. I mean, consistently they're getting 7 to 12 hits a night lately. So I do definitely think there's been a difference. I think tonight he left Lodolo in too long, but I think he's managed rotation pretty well majority of the season, realistically. And then Nathan said, which we'll get to that here in a second, Nathan, but if McLean can make the play in the 6th with 1 out, maybe things play out differently, potentially. We shall, but hard to say. Pierce is not sure about Blake either as batting coach. I think he's actually been pretty good. I mean, he's getting Ellie De La Cruz to take walks. Tonight was Ellie's first multi-strikeout game in a couple weeks, a week? And had 2 really nice hits. I mean, that hit in the 9th was really nice as well. And then Gary says right here, Lodolo is Lodolo. Sometimes he's great. Most of the time he's meh. I wouldn't say most of the time he's meh. I do definitely think he is, I don't really, what's the best way to put this? Would I say it's more close to the number 2 starter between him and Brady Singer than I thought it would be? Yes. But I still really like Lodolo and Singer. If the Reds had to find a way to get into the postseason and have a short series, I do like those 3 going into a series against most teams. But that's getting over our skis. That's a lot to get down there as we go down the road. Guys, realistically, I don't think the Nationals did a whole lot of impressive things to the Reds today. I think the Reds really beat themselves in most of this game. And I'm going to talk about that here in the next segment. Did you know your Fire TV is also an Xbox? Turn any TV into your gaming and entertainment hub with Fire TV Stick 4K devices. No console required. Just grab your paired controller, like for me, I use this very beautiful PlayStation 5 controller. Subscribe or sign into Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with EA Play, and you're ready to go. Dive into hundreds of premium titles, including EA Sports Call of Football 25, all the way up to Call of Duty, and even a little Halo in there, if that's your thing. What if you could jump into your favorite Xbox titles without needing your console in every room? It's that plain and simple, guys. You can just simply plug this into the back of your TV, get your controller brought with you, and get it all squared away. Head to Amazon.com/FireTV locked on to get started. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and compatible controller required. Available on select devices, including Fire TV Stick 4K 2nd Gen, Fire TV Stick 4K Max 1st and 2nd Gen, and Fire TV Cube 3rd Gen. Thank you to our everydayers for hanging out with us, whether it's good or bad in the Reds games here on the postcast. As tonight, the Reds do take an 11-6 loss to the Nationals and have a now tie going into Sunday's rubber match against Mackenzie Gore and the Washington Nationals. If you're checking me out after every single Reds game, free, behind no paywall, on your podcast app of choice or on YouTube, I certainly hope you're checking out my best friends. I'll call them my best friends this time, right? We're besties. We're coworkers. Jeff Carr and Stephen Offenbaker over on Locked On Reds. They probably won't tell you I'm their best friend, but I will give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's kind of see where this game kind of got a little out of hand.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
I think it was just Ahmed Rosario's home run, because leading up to that, it felt like it was building. And it felt like it was getting worse and worse. And that kind of leads into what we're going to talk about here in this segment. So when he hits the home run to make it 6-3, Tito then pulls Lodolo, who seemed like he was kind of having an internal battle with himself a lot through the game. And then that was kind of that. It's really weird this week. So the Reds are 3-3 this week. Do I have that right? Yeah. And their losses are really big losses. So like they lose those 2 games to St. Louis were 2 big losses, and the loss tonight. I guess 5 runs isn't terrible, but it seems like they kind of let that one get away from them. But let's kind of talk about where this game kind of got a little. This is where I think the Reds beat themselves tonight. And what I'm going to say by that is I'm going to bring in a couple things particular, and then I'm going to look at some other things. So big picture, if you look at it, 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position, left 8 on base. Hard to win games when you do that, and they lost by 5. That's going to play a part. So those are the big picture things. Here are some plays that really played into this that really sucked today. Espinal caught stealing in the second. I get it. After Friedel gets to steal in the first, you probably think you could run. That wasn't very good. Matt McClain's error in the sixth, allowing Jacob Young to be part of the Rosario homer. That sucks. And then Tyler Stevenson has the error on James Wood stealing, leading to him scoring the Nathaniel Lowe RBI. There's that. Ellie gets caught stealing on a strikeout throwout. Not good. And then I know Elvie Marte was running because there's 2 outs and you're just kind of trying to see what you can do. But it was still a little boneheaded ski. Yeah, wasn't very great. And there was that as well. So my point is, I don't think tonight necessarily reflects the Reds season. It was a bad night that they beat themselves between Lodolo's struggles on the mound, Brent Suter, having struggles as well. They're hitting guys. How many guys did they hit tonight? Let's see. 1, 2, 3 hit batters tonight. So there was that part as well. And also just kind of these individual moments here. But I just think Washington definitely outplayed them. But the Reds could have won tonight. It wasn't like they were just flat out terrible. They just did a lot of boneheaded moves, and it cost them the game. And, it's baseball. That happens. But at the end of the day, it's beauty of baseball. You get to come back here to play tomorrow. There's a lot of bunting conversation here and about how they need to get better with bunting. Espinal had a really nice bunt single tonight. I don't know what you guys are talking about. And Friedel's been really good at bunting for a while. So I don't know if I agree with that, but I understand where you're coming from. I saw my guy Larry wants Ellie to bunt. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. That double he had tonight opposite field was beautiful. That was awesome. That's what you want to see from Ellie De La Cruz. By the way, 110 miles off the bat on that one. So that was pretty sweet as well. And had a nice infield single as well. I mean, well, not really infield single, but I don't know. I can't live with Ellie bunting there. That's the last thing I really want, unless it's a complete necessity. So I don't know. I'm also not a big bunting guy, so maybe I'm the wrong person to talk about that too. But I digress. I do appreciate everyone each and every night with your comments. It does make my night a little easier, whether good or bad for the Red Legs. But let's go ahead and let's get to our Locked On Player of the Game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
It's Santiago Espinal, guys. Who else could it be? 3 for 4 tonight. I know he struck out at the end of the game, but continues to hit. He's up to an 815 OPS on the homestand. He is 9 for 16. So what the Reds are getting from him as the super utility guy is the last thing I expected from him. I thought he'd be an okay guy that you could throw in there and he'd start for Candelario or he'd start for someone else. But did not think this. I don't know. Did any of us think this? Did any of us think he'd be this good? I certainly thought he could be good, but not this. And I know he's not going to go out there and hit bombs, but everything else he's bringing to this team, it's hard to replace. And he's a guy who you can throw in multiple positions. He's a guy that you can kind of roll with a lot. And it was a fun day for him. Well, it wasn't fun team wise, but I want to make sure I got his credit. So also, I want to make sure we give some credit to Jake Fraley. Home run tonight. Walks. How about that? Good night for Jake Fraley. 2 walks and a homer. Spencer Steer tonight. 2 hits. Really good game. So pretty fun. And I love it. I love it, guys. It was a lot. It was a beautiful day for that. And also congratulations to Tyler Callahan. First major league hit is an RBI that gives the Reds the lead. And of course I don't hold the lead, but I want to make sure those guys get their credit as well. But hey, tonight, we'll move on. And we get ready for tomorrow, a 4 o'clock game because of the Flying Pig Marathon downtown. So if you are heading downtown, hopefully the weather holds up. Hopefully tonight, hopefully tomorrow, we can start a game on time and we can finish a game on time. We can just, no interruptions, no rain. It's been a heck of a week with that. We haven't had a game like that since Monday. So I think we all deserve that for the week we had. So, all right. With that being said, we close out tonight. We move on. The Cincinnati Reds losers tonight to the Washington Nationals 11-6. The Nationals 11 runs on 15 hits, 1 error. The Cincinnati Reds 6 runs on 12 hits, 2 errors. Your winning pitcher tonight is Trevor Williams. He is now 2-3. Your losing pitcher is Nick Lodolo, who is now 3-3. And the Redlegs are back at it tomorrow at 4:10. Flying Pig Marathon Day downtown. It's going to be a fun day in the city. It'll be really cold, though. I actually might be heading down to the game. I'm trying to figure that out still. So Nick Martinez takes the hill for the Reds. He's 1-3 with a 4.68 ERA. Has been really good his last couple starts. So hopefully he keeps that going against Mackenzie Gore, who has been excellent for the Nationals so far this year. 2-3 with a 3.51 ERA. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. I cannot wait to be back after this one. It's going to be a beautiful day. I'm Tim Daniel. Have a great night. I feel like the Reds are going to get a win tomorrow, and we're going to feel much better.